So all of us Switch fans have been wondering if Nintendo is planning some kind of presentation or showcase in the month of April. A lot of the hype and speculation was around there potentially being some mention of Zelda's 35th and a focus direct around that. Well, it does not appear that we are getting that yet, but we are getting a Indie World showcase that does promise to unveil a bunch of new games. So I want to look back at what they did in the 2020 Indie World showcase today and also maybe set some expectations on what we may see from this event that will actually go live tomorrow on April 14th. And then the other great news for Switch fans is that we do have a leaker that is now going on record stating that we may be able to expect games like Dragon Ball Z Kakarot and even some Dark Souls titles make their way over to the Switch here pretty soon. What's up, Nation? If it's your first time on the channel, make sure you join Sunbro Nation by subscribing below. Hit the like button on this video if you enjoy it today, and make sure you turn on your bell notification icon so you're kept up to date with all the newest gaming news. Now, guys, today we're kicking it off by talking about the Indie World Showcase that was just announced from Nintendo, and they are quoting this to be a roughly 20-minute event when they will unveil fresh and new games that are coming to the Nintendo Switch. Now, obviously, indie meaning independent developer is in the title, so do not expect anything first party from Nintendo. They're not going to do some kind of show closer with the Breath of the Wild 2 trailer, so don't get any big hopes up for that kind of stuff. But we are seeing another presentation, and this is what I think Nintendo meant when they said they were going to change the style of how they deliver directs. They're probably going to continue the same format that we saw them do in 2020, where they actually have it broken up directs that are focused on specific topics and titles. So you'll have your indie worlds, you'll have your third-party showcase, and you'll have your mainline directs. And we already know to expect another mainline direct at E3 in June of this year. And my personal prediction, since that announcement had been made, is that we will probably not see Nintendo do the Zelda 35th anniversary dedicated direct in the month of April. I think that if anything, they are going to feature that as part of the E3 direct instead. Now, as far as tomorrow's event, I do think we're going to get some exciting announcements. I don't know really what to expect because I'm not as in the weeds with the indie games like a lot of people are, and there is some stuff that could come down the line that's rather big. Like last year's event, they closed out the show with Among Us coming to the Switch, which was obviously a huge title and it sold very well, and that is one of those games that just blew up and everybody knew about. And so there's probably going to be more titles like that and ports and different things to look forward to that maybe are popular on PC right now or even other platforms that make their way to the Switch, as well as, of course, just new from the ground up titles. So at least we're getting confirmation of new games coming to the Switch in the month of April at a showcase from Nintendo, even though it's not a mainline direct. I would love to know if you guys think we're going to get another direct still this month, or if you do think, kind of along the way that I'm thinking, that E3 of Nintendo's mainline presentation will be their primary showcase, and that's where we can expect the big Zelda news and the other games that we are hoping to come out at the back half of 2021. So make sure you leave me that thought in the comments down below. And then the other thing we're talking about today is actually some games that could be making their way to the Switch for the first time, as they are already released on other platforms. But there is a leaker by the name of Leaky Panda who is known for putting certain rumors and speculations out there that do end up coming to pass, and he does have a great track record of predicting different releases. And he's recently went on record suggesting that titles like Dragon Ball Z Kakarot and even some Dark Souls games and different Tales games may make their way to the Nintendo Switch. So let's hop over to Nintendo Life and read through the report and the article so we know what to expect on those new games. Remember last month when Bandai Namco showed a trailer of its third DLC pack for Dragon Ball Z Kakarot? At the end of it was a Switch logo. At the time, the Bandai Namco Instagram said it was a mistake. Well, perhaps there might be more to it. Adding fuel to the fire, leak group Leaky Panda, known for sharing industry news and rumors, is claiming that it's gathered information that Bandai Namco will make Kakarot announcement for the Nintendo Switch soon. Switch is also mentioned in reference to Tales of Destiny, Gundam Breaker 4, and Dark Souls, expanding further to additional platforms. The tweet reads here, "What we gathered so far could be announced, confirmed coming, not sure announced during next batch, will update. DBZ Kakarot Switch, Tales of Destiny, Tales of Arise, Dark Souls expanding further into NS/Stadia, Gundam Breaker 4 for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X." Alongside the Switch logo last month was one for an Xbox Series X/S release, another version that doesn't exist. So could Dragon Ball Z Kakarot get a Switch release in the near future? In addition to what could be mounting evidence, Bandai Namco has released just about every Dragon Ball game it's developed in recent times on the Switch. Kakarot also runs on the same engine as Dragon Ball FighterZ, one of the best ports on Nintendo's hybrid system. So I definitely think this is one of those situations that we will continue to see games like this make their way to the Switch, as the Switch user base is 80 million plus strong right now, and they are tracking to continue to grow the platform. So I don't think third-party developers are going to want to miss out on that type of user base whenever possible. Now, what I hope we see for the future, especially with things like maybe the rumored Switch Pro coming out in the future, is that we don't have to wait so long to get these titles ported over, because Dragon Ball Z Kakarot I played through myself, and it is a fantastic Dragon Ball Z game. I was actually really hungering for one that had a good story start to finish, that make you feel like you're playing through the anime, but that you're more involved than just, you know, like a copy paste fight scenario over and over like I've seen in different Dragon Ball Z games over the course of time. So I personally really enjoyed this, and I would love the option to play it on the go on the Nintendo Switch. And then the big one for me, of course, will be the Dark Souls series, as currently only Dark Souls Remastered is on the Switch, which is the original Dark Souls game, if you're not counting Demon Souls, which will of course never come to probably other platforms other than maybe PC down the line. But that's one series that is truly amongst my top of all time when it comes to gaming series, and I do think the more players can get exposed to that, the better. So hopefully we see Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin, which could easily be ported to the Switch at this point, as the graphics and the system requirements should not be too hard to make that work. What I'll be interested to see is if they can pull off Dark Souls 3 on the Switch or not, as that is a PS4 and Xbox One developed title, and it definitely would require more graphical performance than maybe what a base model Switch could run right now, unless of course if they downscale some of the textures and lower down the resolution, maybe you could get that to run smoothly on the Switch. I myself am not personally such a huge fan of the Tales games, but you know, if the more games come to the Switch that are great sellers, the better in my opinion. And I do think that as we get closer to a potential Switch Pro release, we should hopefully be able to expect more titles that are AAA games from third-party developers make their way to the Switch at release or slightly thereafter release, and not like 6 to 9 months down the line, kind of like what we're seeing right now. But if the Switch keeps going full steam ahead like we're predicting it to do, I do think that this is going to be more and more of a trend, and you will see less of the third parties just only sticking to Microsoft and Sony. And there's even the whole rumor of what's going on between Nintendo and Microsoft right now, potentially bringing like xCloud or Games Pass to the Nintendo Switch. So a lot of exciting stuff to come for the Switch as a whole platform going forward. And since we're only about halfway through the life cycle of this console, I think it's going to be a fantastic ride from here. But I would love to know your guys' thoughts on if you would pick up the games listed below that could be coming from Bandai Namco on the Switch. So don't forget to vote in today's community poll, where I will be asking you about that. And then also leave me a comment down below letting me know if you would pick up these games, and then also how hyped you are for tomorrow's indie showcase and what games you hope we see announced there. Thanks so much for watching the video today, everyone. I do truly appreciate you all sticking around until the end. I do at this point in the video want to invite you all one more time to join Sunbro Nation if you haven't done so already. Do so by subscribing below, hit the like button on your way out on this video if you enjoyed it today, and make sure you turn on your bell notification icon so you're kept up to date with all the newest gaming news. That's going to do it for me, guys. I hope you all have a great day. Sunbro Nation, out.